Welcome to this webinar on using online tools in science and mathematics classes. Thank you for virtually coming to this webinar and for your interest in using online tools for teaching and learning. I am Mona Lisa T. Sasing from UP NISMED. I'm one of the staff of the Information Science Group of UP NISMED. And one of the activities in our group is to provide free short webinars to teachers like you. This webinar is hosted by Adobe Connect through Intel's sponsorship. Okay, so before we start, let me remind you to please sign into the attendance sheet. I hope you have clicked on the link below and you have completed the filled out the attendance sheet online. Let me just ask you a question. Can you please answer the poll question I am showing you on screen right now? Okay, so I've seen that from among those from you here, there's only one who has used the who has used an online tool. May I know, ma'am, can you write on this chat box? May I know which tool is that? What tool is that? Can you please write on the chat box? For those who indicated, for the one who indicated that he or she has used an online tool before, can you please write on the chat box kung ano po yung online tool na nagamit nyo na po? Okay, so the rest, based on the poll, the rest have not used any online tool yet, no? After this webinar, I hope that many of you will be using, okay, it's your first time, ma'am. Many of you will be using, after this, I hope that you will be using the free tools that I will be showing you later, okay? Okay, so let's start. May I ask first, how many of you here have Facebook accounts? No? All of you have Facebook accounts? I assume na lahat kayo may Facebook accounts, ano? Yeah, okay. That is actually an online tool, no? So, you may not be using it yet for your class or for personal or professional growth, but you are using it for personal purposes, right? So what are online tools? Online tools are actually applications or services provided via the internet, which users can use either for personal purposes or for work. Most of you have actually used Facebook, a social networking site. So all of you have actually Facebook accounts and have Facebook accounts, so meaning you are actually users of an online tool. Okay? In this session, we'll focus more our discussion on the tools provided via the web. So we'll focus the online tools more on the Web 2 tools. So since this webinar has two parts, the first part will cover an overview of online tools. The second part will cover what are the uses or applications of online tools in education. And the third part for this session, I will give you examples of these free online tools which teachers and students can use. Okay? The part 2, which will be next Tuesday, and I hope to see you again next Tuesday, I will be presenting to you some learning tasks, no? A few learning tasks that make use of online tools, and also a few teaching tasks that make use of an online tool. Next Tuesday, we will also cover how these online tools influence teaching and learning, and also the challenges of using these online tools. Okay? So I hope that for the rest of the session, you will be learning, no? And at least you will gain something from the session, so that when you go back to your schools, you can think of something, of a learning task or a teaching task where you will use an online tool. So how did all of this start? Actually, when you look at the web years ago when it started, I started using the web way back 1994, no? If some of you were already using the web back then, you noticed that the web at that time was just static, no? Ibig sabihin, hindi ganun ka dynamic, hindi ganun ka interactive. Yun yung Web 1.0 generation. So the web basically is just used for giving out information, and users of Web 1.0 are mostly just getting the information. We call them consumers of the web, no? They don't actually contribute to the content, no? They don't share anything. That's the Web 1.0. Yun yung mga times na, kunyari, ang school ninyo, nagpuput up lang ng website to let the world know that there is such a school in Binondo na ang pangalan ay, ano nga po yung school ninyo? Chongse Academy, di ba? And that's the oldest school in Binondo. So, kumbaga, at that time, ganun pa lang ang pinaka-purpose ng web, ng websites, no? Kaya ang tawag sa kanya ay Web 1.0 and mostly static yung content. Ibig sabihin, wala masyadong animation. In fact, the browser at that time was very textual, no? Very text-based, kung naaabutan nyo pa yon. Okay. Now, time came na naging parang yung gamit ng web ay hindi na ganun para pagkuha na lang yung information. Kung hindi, gusto na rin ng user na mag-share, no? So parang nag-revolutionize at nagkaroon na ng interaction ang user sa gamit ng web. Hindi na siya plain consumer. Kung hindi, nagiging producer na rin siya of information. And that generation of web tool is what we call Web 2.0. So this is the time when the internet-based services are focused on interactive sharing of information on the web among the users. And as I've mentioned, the users here are mostly contributors. Grabe yung sikat nito when sumikat itong web tools nung nagkaroon nung social networking sites, ano? Kagaya ng Facebook. Grabe ang boom ng Web 2.0 tools. Kasi parang ang tao ngayon, ang dali na lang palang mag-share ng information. Di ba? Akala mo noon parang, sila na lang, basa ka na lang ng basa sa site or download ka na lang ng download ng materials. Ngayon, pwede ka na rin palang mag-upload ng sarili mong materials. You can even share your work, no? So, nagkaroon itong very interactive na sharing of information and resources online. So, yun yung Web 2.0. There's actually this thing they call Web 3.0, which they refer to as the intelligent web. For this generation of web tools, the services and tools are actually more intelligent, no? They make use of data mining, artificial intelligence, and semantic web. Ano ito? Yun yung, kunyari, actually sa Amazon.com, if you're a user of Amazon.com, pag mag-login ka doon, pag punta mo doon, may profile ka kasi, di ba? They get your profile. And then, each time that you log into that site, and for example, you buy a book, nare-record nung site na yon, nakikip track nila kung ano yung interest mo kasi palagi itong taong to, nakikita nila based on your transactions sa Amazon.com or yung mga galaw mo sa Amazon.com na you're actually interested in buying sci-fi books, for example. So, nagbi-build sila ng parang profile mo based on what you want and what you don't want, based on where you go to when you use their site, no? So, with that, when they have something new, isa ngayon, ang gamit nito ay dun sa mga marketing, no? So, kino-customize nila ngayon yung mga information na yon, such that when they have a new product and nag-fit ka sa profile na yon, i-offer nila sa iyo yon. Parang, we've seen that you're interested in sci-fi. We have this new book. You may want to buy this new book. This is so, etc., etc., etc. So, kumbaga, paano nila nalaman yun? It's because they are actually tracking, no, your transactions online. So, ini-store nila yan. Nagmamine sila ng data from dun sa mga galaw mo dun sa kanilang site. Okay? So, that's a very brief and a simple explanation of the use of the Web 3.0 generation of web tools. Okay? So, yun yung evolution ng web tools, ng online tools, ano? But I'd like to focus on this, on the Web 2.0 tools, because this is the one where ordinary people like us make use of the power of the internet to get information, to share information, and even to create information online. Okay, so let's look at how these Web 2.0 tools are being used in education. We actually, the Web 2.0 tools are actually categorized according to their use in education. For those of us in the education industry, we call the web tools based on their use, no? So one group of tools is that which is used for research, for doing research online, and for getting or searching for information online. In this particular application of the web tools or the online tools, the teachers and students can save information. They can comment on a particular information on the web. They can even organize information online, and they can share research resources online, and even the findings, no, of the researches. One particular tool for research and information search that is used online is the bookmarking tool, the online bookmarking tool. If you remember, when you use the browser, you bookmark pages, right? Tama po ba? When you use the browser, the Internet Explorer, for example, and when you find a site, no, that is a good one, or that has a good set of activities for students, no, for teaching about, for example, for teaching about genetics, then you bookmark that page, right? So the bookmarking tools online work the same way. You bookmark pages online, but you actually can share also the pages that you bookmarked with others. Kasi remember, dito sa bookmarking, dito sa web tools, it's not only getting what you want, but also sharing what you have. Okay? So let's look at a particular Web2 bookmarking tool. Let's go to Digo. Okay, I'll show you Digo. Digo is actually, sabi nga nila, is a multi-tool for knowledge management. You can use Digo. Okay, can you see the screen? Can you see my screen? This one? Nawawala kasi nga ang internet connection. Sorry, medyo nawawala yung internet connection namin. Okay. Okay, so can you see my screen now? Can you see the Digo site? Okay, thank you. Okay, now this is actually a site where you can bookmark, no? You can do some, nakikita niyo po ito, may mga markings siya. Parang ganun po ang ginagawa ng Digo. When you find a resource, can actually highlight some parts of it, nasi-save po yun sa inyong account, no? Sa Digo. Then, you can also share yung mga bookmarked pages ninyo sa Digo. All you need to do is just go into this site. Later po, tomorrow, I'm going to share with you the links, no, to these sites that we're going to show you today. So you just go to the site, and then you just click you make sure that you install the Digolet, because the Digolet will let you make use of the full features of Digo. Yun yung may tools na si Digo. Okay? So, I am actually naka-login po ako sa account ko ngayon as MT Sasing. And ito yung aking library, no? Okay, so dito po makikita nyo, I have a list of kumbaga, resources that I have bookmarked online. Nasi-save po yan sa account ko na to. Okay? For example, I'll show you one. Kunyari about the GMO. Too small? Masyado pong maliit. Ang alin po, sir? Okay, so, oops. Okay, so I have actually bookmarked the page, this page here, the GMO page, and I've noted I have put in notes here, and then I have highlighted parts of it. Then I can actually share it, no? pwedeng, nakita nyo po itong mga tools dito, pwede nyo i-save siya sa cloud, tapos pwede nyo siyang i-edit mismo itong binookmark nyo. Oh, the one I'm sharing to you, it's too small talaga. Okay, I'm going to show it full screen, okay? So, I know this is just going to be a demonstration or a showcase of the tools. But don't worry, I am going to give you a list. Tomorrow, I'm going to post at the Kasama site the list of tools that I'll be showing you today. These are all free, so you can sign into these sites and get free access to the tools online. So right now, I'm just going to show you what Diigo can do briefly, no? So meron kasi siyang tools, no? If you notice on my upper part of the screen where I'm pointing my mouse into, meron siyang sticky note, 'di ba? Meron siyang bookmark. Meron siyang pang-highlight. So for example, I am going to a particular site. Kunyari, may nahanap akong isang site. Ito, the Human Genome Project. I will just activate my Diigolet, no? And then, if I activate my Diigolet, this is there's a message here, but suppose this has content that really interests me. So I want to put a note here. I want to highlight a particular content. For example, this one. I can just highlight, select the content I'd like to highlight, and then I click on the highlight button. You see, it's highlighted online now. For me, this has been saved in my Diigo account. Then I can add some notes for teaching GMOs, for example. Okay? Then I can just post it, that note. You see this one? This is the note that I put for this particular site. Okay? So when I go back to my Diigo list of materials, if I click here, you see that? I can now see the highlighted text, no? And even my notes, the one note that I have posted for this particular resource. And this one, I can share this resource. For example, if you're doing a research and you want others to view what you have done, what resources you have looked from the web, no? You have culled from the web. So you can actually share the resources, no? To the group. So they can also make comments. They can also highlight other materials, highlight other parts of the resources that you have posted online. So briefly, that is Diigo. You will have more time on, all by yourself later kung puntahan nyo tong site na to, no? I'll give you the list. Okay. Okay. The other examples like delicious.com, I'll let you browse through them, no, on your own, kasi we will not have enough time if we will go to each one of them. Another example of a web tool that is useful for research and information search is Dropbox. Are you familiar with Dropbox? Are you familiar? Okay. So since you're familiar with Dropbox, I don't need to explain more what Dropbox is. You've been using this one for file sharing, right? Especially for large files. I know you're also familiar with the photo sharing site, which is Flickr.com, and the media sharing site, which is YouTube. And I'd like to share with you another site, no, which will be very useful when you conduct your own research. For example, if you're doing your thesis now, you may want to make use of the source citation site, the bibme.org. This bibme.org is very useful, especially for people who get too tired when they do a bibliography of all the references that they use in the research, no? Kasi ang hirap tandaan nung format ng APA. Kunyari, yung school ninyo sa grad school would require that it will be in APA format. Mangyayari, ang hirap tandaan, no, kung alin ba yung nauuna, ang year of publication, or ano ba yung capitalized ba yun, or italicized ba yun, etc. No? So I'll show you the bibme, which is a source citation tool. I hope you will find this one useful. Sandali lang po ha. Let me just show to you my... Let me go to bibme. Okay, this is bibme. I'm going to share my screen again to you so that you will see bibme. Can you see bibme now? And can you see kung is it full screen or malaki po ba? So para po dun sa mga nagtitesis, very useful po itong site na ito. What you do is, for example, let's look for, if you notice, meron ditong mga, pwede kayong mag-login so that your entries, will be saved. Your works will be saved, but then you can actually use this one just to come up with a bibliography, no? Para sa iyong research. So for example, we want to look for a journal article, no? We know of a particular journal article and we want to make a bibliography for that journal article, bibliographic entry for that particular journal article. For example, itong si teaching, hanap tayo ng, yung existing na lang, yung nandito sa example, sa aking, kopyahin ko lang. Kunyari lang, alam ko na itong article na to. Nakita ko siya online, no, sa isang journal. And then I'd like to know how this should be entered as a bibliographic entry, no, for as one of my references. Okay, I will just type in the title of that article, and then I will just make sure that the tab selected is the journal tab. And then you just enter the title of the article. For example, this is the article that you found useful for your research, and you will use it really for your research, so you need to include that in the bibliography. Then you just click, find article. You are in autofill mode. Ngayon, paghahanapin niya, ito ba yung mga articles na to? Kunyari, ito nga, no? So, you just click select. Then, gagawin na niya yung, yung journal name, andyan, nakasulat, Science Education, hahanapin niya yun. Okay? Tapos, yung year published, yung volume, yung issue, and then, you just have to click add to my bibliography. Pagka-click sa add my bibliography, kung papansin ninyo, itong part na to, nakita niyo po ba yung part na to? Nandyan na yung bibliographic entry for that particular article. You can just copy and paste it in your Word file para hindi na kayo maghihirap ano nga bang nauuna, or italicized ba siya, or first letter lang ba ng title, ng first word, tapos ng first word ang naka-capital letter, the rest small letters na. So yun, minsan mahirap tandaan, di ba? Yung mga ganong conventions. Then after that, you can just copy-paste, click this copy-paste link here, then you just have to paste it sa inyong Word file kung saan nandun yung inyong bibliography. Now, you can also check on the parenthetical citation, way of citation, no? So, ganito ang magiging kalalabasan niya. Ganito pala ang pag-cite. If it's in APA format. Okay? So, for those na nagtitesis, di ba, minsan sasabihin ng inyong advisor na you have to use the APA format. Tapos sasabihin mo, ano ba yung APA format? Tapos babasahin mo pa yung APA journal. Ito, siya na ang gagawa for you. Okay? So, I hope that you will also find BibMe very useful. Again, I'll give you the list tomorrow. Okay. Next. The Google Doc, the Google Forms for data collection. Have you used Google Forms? Nakagamit na po ba kayo ng Google? Kanina when I asked you what are online tools, when I asked you have you used an online tool before? Sabi nyo kanina, hindi pa, di ba? Majority of you sabi hindi. Pero when I asked you, do you know Dropbox? Have you used Dropbox? You have actually used Dropbox. And that means you have actually used an online tool before. No? Ngayon nyo lang kasi nalaman na, online tool pala si Dropbox. Or ngayon lang naklaro sa inyo. So you're actually already users of these online tools. Ang ano lang is, how are they going to be used in your classes or in your teaching? Okay, so for Google Forms, so some of you are familiar already, no, of Google Forms. You can actually make use of Google Forms when you create, for example, a survey online, no? So when you use Google Form, i-share ko lang ulit. Okay, so can you see my screen? For you to be able to use Google Form, you need to have an account at Google, no? Okay, thank you po. So you can see my screen. So when you use Google, actually, ngayon Google Drive na siya, ano? And there at Google Drive, you can actually create different kinds of forms. You can create an online document which you can share and which others can actually edit online also. Instead of yung inyong pag-share ng, di ba? Yung inyong pag-share ng document via email, no? Na minsan nalilito na tayo, alin na ba doon yung na-send ko sa'yo? Tapos, alin na yung komentan mo? Whereas this one, you're actually all looking at the same document online. And you can access it anywhere for as long as there's internet connection, and you can access you just log into your Google account. So you can view the document, then you can edit it, and then other people can see what you have done with the document. Updated kayo online. Hindi yung, yung version, ano pa lang yung nakita ko eh. Meron ka ba? Kailan mo pinadala? May mga ganun kasing mga pagkakataon before, di ba? When you share documents via email attachments. Right? Tama po ba? Have you had that problem before na when you, for example, you're working on one project and then you'd like others to comment on your output and then they said na, alin ba dun yung binasa ko noon? Ay, nakomentan ko yung hindi ko natanggap. Ito kasi, when you have a Google account, you just have to log into Google and access that shared document online. then you can edit it. Others can see right away the document that you have edited, no? For this form, you can actually create an online survey, for example. So, nandun na, may template na siya, and then also, pinaprocess na rin ng, kumbaga, sinasummarize na rin ng Google for you yung information that you can gather, no? So, anong magkagandahan nitong Google form? It can actually reach out to as many respondents as you want, no? At saka, it will save you money for printing the forms, di ba? For example, when you do a research and you want to get, no, participants or respondents not just from your locality, you want to get respondents, you are sampling, no, kumbaga, from each region, a number of participants, but you don't have enough money to really give to them the form and then ask them to mail you back the form para makuha mo. Ito, you just have to share the link of the form. Okay? And then after that, they fill out the answer, they click, and then they open the online form, and then they answer it, and then nasa-save yung kanilang responses online. And then when you look at your Google form, nandun din yung summary ng mga sumagot na, kung ilan yung sumagot ng yes or no, etc., no, depending on your questions. So dito, you just have, for example, ito, survey. Kunyari, I may not have enough time to really go through this, no? Pero, sige, hindi ko na lang ipapakita kung paano. Anyway, dali nyo na lang matutunan kung paano gumawa ng survey form online, no, using Google. You just have to log into Google and then go to Google Drive, and then you just have to click yung create, yung create, no, button. And then meron dyan kung anong document, create a form. Pagka-create a form, pupunta siya dito, then ta-type nyo na kung anong klaseng form yan, etc. And then ipasok nyo na yung mga items na gusto nyong itanong dun sa inyong survey. Okay? And then, you just have to publish your form. You just have to inform others of the link to your form, and then it will gather the data for you from anywhere, no? Then, so mas malawak yung reach mo with these online forms, no? Okay, so another thing that we have for Web 2 are sites where we can make collaborative works, no? And in these sites, teachers and students write and even share and collaborate the online content that they have created, no? Work on a particular online content, and then they share, and then they collaborate, no? An example, again, is the Google Docs. As I've mentioned to you, you can actually share the document online, and then for those who have access to that shared document, they can edit the document. And you can access it from anywhere you are. Hindi yung, ay, naiwan ko yung aking document sa computer ko sa bahay. Hindi ganon. You actually have a copy of the document saved sa Google Drive. So it's available online for anybody who has access to it. And then you can actually share it, no? You can edit it anytime you want. There are also wiki sites. Ang wiki sites, you're all familiar with Wikipedia, right? Familiar kayo sa Wikipedia, no? Yun yung parang encyclopedia na maraming contributors. Kasi nga, anybody can edit the content. Anybody who has the expertise or who has knowledge about that particular content being shared can actually input his or her content there, no? But mind you, yung sinasabi nga nilang, ay, hindi Keshet Wiki, ay palpak na yung content ng Wikipedia. Hindi naman, kasi according to Wikipedia, they actually check, they also have a panel of experts who review, no, the documents that they have, that they will post. And you can actually see kung sino ang nag-share, no? Or nag-i-input ng bagong entry doon sa, kunyari, it's about volcanic eruption or about volcanoes. Then you can actually see kung sino ang mga nag-i-input doon sa about that volcano. And you can, for others, meron silang mga links to their works also. Naglalagay din sila ng ibang links. So, parang may profile ka na rin ng mga contributors nung iyong, nung isang wiki page, no? Or wiki document. Okay? Another use of, wait, let's skip back. Okay. Another use of the web tools is for communication and messaging. Well, this is very common for most of us, right? Not just for our work as teachers, but even for personal purposes, no? For most of us, before we can actually appreciate the use of a particular tool, no, we actually have experienced already its usefulness in our personal activities, in our individual and private activities, or in our individual activities, kumbaga as a person. Hindi yung necessarily that has something to do with our work. Okay? So here, sa communication, you're very familiar with the Yahoo Messenger. So, I don't need to discuss that with you. Skype. Sino po ang gumagamit ng Skype? Sino na po ang nakagamit ng Skype? Sino po ang nakagamit na ng Skype? Marami na po bang nakagamit ng Skype? Do you use Skype for yung inyong to communicate with your relatives or your parents abroad? May mga ganyan, 'di ba? Okay. So, and this is free. Of course, if you want the more advanced features of Skype, then you have to pay, no? Pero for us ordinary users, very useful na yung free features ng Skype, di ba? You can actually have a conferencing, kumbaga, teleconferencing with Skype. There can be several of you, no? Hindi lang dalawa kayo na nag-Skype. Kung hindi several of you, kumbaga meron kayong online meeting. Okay? Parang ganito din sa webinar natin, ano? So, pwede rin gawin. So, pag ganun, anong magiging use noon sa inyong klase? Magkakaroon kayo ng mga, kunyari, experts, no? Kasi kalimitan sa atin, especially for schools, no, in remote areas or in provinces na wala sa metropolis, no? Kunyari, malayo sa kanila yung may expertise on, kunyari lang, on earthquakes. So, wala silang PHIVOX doon na office, and they want somebody to talk about, to share what earthquakes are, how to prepare for earthquakes to their students or to their community. You can actually do it via Skype, diba? So you just have to project the screen so that your students can view. Okay? So, you can actually do online meetings, no, via Skype. There's also a software that you can install for you to be able to record your Skype session. Okay? But of course, to do that, there will definitely be a cost. Kasi medyo advanced na siya na feature, no? Just like this Adobe Connect, it works the same way. I can share my presentation with you, and then I can record, no, this session. Then I can actually share with you the mic so that you can also talk. So we can actually have also a meeting online, no? So if the connection is good, then I can allow each one of you to talk, to share, or we can do a video, no? I can video myself so that you can see me, and not just my picture here, and you can also video yourself so that I can also see you, if the internet internet connection for both ways ay maganda, no? So, may mga ganun na tayong ano. So ngayon, kaya ang kalimitan, if you notice yung mga nasa corporate world, ano, kalimitan sa kanila, they don't need to go abroad to meet with their boss or their colleagues abroad. Kung hindi, online meeting na sila. They discuss online. Yun nga lang, minsan hassle kasi to match yung time, you have to do the meeting gabi, no? Para magkaanuhan kayo or very early in the morning. Okay? So that's what technology can do. So it brings people together, no? Kahit located sila from different parts of the world. Okay? Another one is the microblogging capability of the communication and messaging Web2 tools. Ano yung microblogging? Yung Tweeducate. Narinig niyo na po ang Tweeducate? Narinig niyo na po ba ang Tweeducate? Anong kaibahan ng Tweeducate, no, sa ibang mga blog sites, no? Ano nga ba? Okay, yung Tweeducate, ito po, papakita ko po sa inyo, no? I'll share my screen again so that you will see the Tweeducate site. Okay. So it's actually a blog site, no? So it's practically a social networking tool also for schools, for educators. You can, where your students can connect, they can collaborate, and they can, in fact, insert or embed images or links or even documents and videos dun sa kanilang mga blogs. What makes Tweeducate kumbaga better than any other blogging sites, no? This is actually made by teachers, okay? And what's good about Tweeducate is that it can make your blog private. So, gagawa ka kasi ng blog site for your class. So, sila-sila lang din. Kasi minsan, di ba, nakikita ng iba na alam yung link sa blog na yon, yung blog na pinost ng student mo. So, dito, if you want yung privacy, kasi you just want your students to be able to express, no? Or to, through blogs, to be able to write their opinions or their views about a particular topic and share it via blog, and then mas maano yung students mo, mas may privacy kayo kasi kayo lang yung may access doon, and you can view the works of your students, no? You can comment on the works of your students. So kayo lang, hindi mo worry yung may iba na nakakapasok sa inyong blog site. And then this is free. Okay, this is a free resource for educators. And this is a safe venue for teachers and students, no? Kasi nga, nalilimit kung sino lang yung may access sa site na yon. Okay? You can actually give the control number to your, what you call this, the blog, the classroom or the code for the site to your students, no? And then, hindi kayong puno ng advertisements kagaya ng ibang blog sites. Okay? So, in this Tweeducate, you can help your students expand their reading, writing, and their thoughts and ideas beyond your classroom setting. Okay? You can just sign in for an account at Tweeducate later. And then when you sign in, I'll just show you yung sign up form so that you will have an idea. Here. So if you notice, there's a classroom name. Then there's a classroom code. At pag nagsa-sign in din yung mga students ninyo, pupuntahan, may papasok silang classroom code para dun sila pupunta. Okay? Sa site na yon. Okay? Now, another tool is the social networking site na Facebook. You're all familiar with Facebook, right? You can actually create groups for how many of you here has been using Facebook for your classes? Sino-sino po? Kayo, okay? So, yung anak ko nga, medyo, doon na rin, minsan akala ko talagang nag-Facebook lang na walang purpose, pero doon pala sila, may class Facebook group sila, and then, doon sila nagpo-post ng mga homeworks na para doon sa mga nag-absent or nagtatanungan kung ano yung gagawin sa project nila. Then ang teachers din, ang advisors din doon din nagpo-post ng kanyang mga instructions sa kanyang students, okay? Yeah, it has to be a closed group. Okay? Para sila lang ang may access. Hindi dapat open para walang ibang makakita ng mga posts, no? Ang kagandahan kasi ng Facebook, parang you don't need to actually log in to a different account for you to be able to create a group for your for professional use or for your class. Kumbaga ang problema kasi sa kunyari sa Tweeducate, you have to log into the Tweeducate site, no? So medyo may kumbaga minsan pag ikaw, tatamarin ka dahil parang, magla-login pa ako sa Tweeducate, pero magla-login na naman ako sa Facebook ko or sa email ko. So, sa Facebook kasi nandun na may messaging na rin siya, and meron na siyang pwede kang gumawa ng page for your class, Okay? So, for now, I cannot answer yet yung inyong mga tanong. Just continue posting your comments and your questions dito sa chat box, and I'll just continue with my presentation, okay? I'll go to each of your comment or question later, okay? So, there are actually a lot of teachers now who are using the Facebook as a way to somehow send communication to their students, no? And even a way to kumbaga let their students collaborate online. Kasi kumbaga nandun na kasi lahat sa Facebook Though minsan ang iba na ang tawag nito, nalilihis nga lang kasi instead na mag-focus dun sa discussion ay sa kanilang Facebook group na pinapagawa ay iba na ang kanyang ginagawa, 'di ba? Kumbaga nagchat-chat na, etc. Okay? Now, another thing is the tools used for creating visuals. Okay? So may mga tools tayo where teachers and students can actually design, share, and collaboratively create online visual content. So there's aviary.com, which is a graphics creation site. What I'd like to share with you are the mind mapping and graphic organizers thinking tools of Intel, no? One of them is Seeing Reason tool. So I'm going to share with you Seeing Reason tool. But before that, let me just give you a background of what Seeing Reason tool is. This is actually a very useful tool, no? If you let your students investigate cause and effect relationships, no? Where they can map the relationships that illustrates that is being illustrated, okay? They can create a map of the relationships being illustrated, okay? So let's see, let's check out the seeing reason tool. Okay. Asan na yung seeing reason tool ko? Sorry. Ayun. Okay, so for example, in this, so this is a captured, actually a demo version of the seeing reason tool, no? This is available online and this is for free. Again, the seeing reason tool is a free online thinking tool offered by Intel. Okay, for example, if the activity is for your students to identify the causes of traffic, no, in their locality, they just have to create a map, no, of the relationships of factors, of different factors that cause traffic. Okay? In this case, yung student nakagawa siya ng, this can be a group activity, no, and each group can actually discuss, no, and before they finally put in the relationship between factors, then they have to agree na ganun nga yun. Okay? So, for example, in this case, number of trucks contributes to traffic jams. Okay? So, meron siyang link, no? Pero, maliit lang. Pero positive ang link. If it's blue, then it's positive. If it's, the relationship is positive if it's blue. If you notice, I will point to the arrow, no, pointing to the traffic jam from number of trucks. So the relationship indicated there is that as the number of trucks increases, then the traffic jam also increases. A little, only a little. Kaya thin ang line because it's just, maliit lang yung kumbaga contribution niya dun sa traffic jam. Let's see the number of cars. So according to this group of students who made this visual representation of the relationships of factors that cause traffic jam, sabi nila, and as the number of cars increases, traffic jams increases a lot. Kaya makapal yung line. Okay? Now, close to quitting time, yung rush hour, no? Pag close to quitting time na, then the number of cars increases a lot. Okay? So how do you make a factor? Ito po yung tool, no? Create a factor. So if I click this one, I will just type here the factor name. Kunyari, ano ba? Ano pa ang posibleng cause ng traffic? Can you identify? Ang meron na dito, stalled cars, temperature, accidents, snow, rain. Ano? Ano pa? Ano sa tingin nyo? Ano ang cause ng traffic? Okay? Ano kaya ang cause ng traffic? Kunyari, ang flood kasi, ang rain na yon, ano? Pwedeng rain, no? Pwedeng flood. Ano? Lagyan natin ng flood o lubak-lubak na daan? Ano kaya? Number of lanes. Ayun na yung number of lanes eh. Maliit daw ang screen, sorry. Oh, sorry. Full screen, mag-full screen lang po ako ha. Yun. Lumaki na po ba ang screen? Okay na po? Okay, so anong gusto natin? Kunyari ano, Ano bang tawag sa back in English? Anybody? Medyo mahirap po kasi i-ano yung discipline of motorists. Yung may kinalaman na sa mga existing factors na nandito. Kunyari lang, rain, tapos may flood. Kunyari lang, flood. Okay? Flood. Simple lang, flood. Flood. Okay? Or meron na bang repairs? Road repairs? Flood na lang. Sige, flood. Okay? So, ang color natin kay flood, kunyari lang ay, kapareho siya ng rain. Kunyari lang. Okay? And then, anong gusto mong sabihin dito? Kung may gusto kang sabihin about this factor, then you just write your description under this box. Okay? So, ang relationship, wala pa, no? Just have to, saan natin ilalagay si, kunyari, dito siya, si flood. Then, yung relationship. So, si rain, may effect on the flood, right? Yes, potholes. Okay, so si flood na lang po muna tayo, sir, ha? So, kunyari, ang relationship ni rain, sorry. So, ito, no, we just have to identify as flood increases, mali, sorry. As rain increases, flood positive relationship po ba? Flood increases a lot. Tama po ba? A lot po ba or a little? Okay, suppose a lot, no? So, yan. Then, you just have to let your students put here explanations, no, if you want. So, may ganyan na. May link na. 'Di ba? Okay? Now, pag may flood, anong effect niya sa jam? Sa traffic jam? So, you just have to identify the relationship of flood to traffic jam. So, as flood increases, traffic jams increases a lot. 'Di ba? Okay? Then may ganun na tayo. Okay? So you can actually have a group of students work on a particular question, no? And they map out the relationships of the factors that contribute to that problem. For example, in this case, traffic jam. And then they can discuss, no? Then, why do you think that, they can argue? Hindi, ito pag umuulan, ganito, etc., etc. Okay? So, all you need to do here is just log in as a teacher for you to be able to access the seeing reason. Oops, bakit ganito? Sorry. Ano ko lang po, ha? Dali lang po. Okay. You just have to log into this site here, and then you register, no, as a teacher, and then you also create accounts for your students. You can actually ask your students to create an account under your class. Okay, so this is the seeing reason tool. The showing evidence tool, on the other hand, is something like this. Yon. So there's a demo here. Okay, so this is the showing evidence tool. Okay, so the showing evidence tool will give you a tool for your students where they can create a map of that supports, or show evidences of their claim. Kumbaga, pag sinabi nilang Jack is a hero, then posibleng dahil may mga evidence sila na kasi, kunyari dito, kahit na nagnakaw siya, may purpose naman siya kung bakit niya ninakaw yun, kunyari ganon, ano? So, hindi siya hero, bakit? Yung isang group naman, gagawa sila ng evidences. Isusulat lang nila yung evidences. You just have to click this one here, then type in a new evidence, and then the explanation of their evidence, and then the source. No? It can be an online source, no? The source is online. Let's look at one, evidence. Ayan. Pwedeng online or pwedeng dun mismo sa paragraph, sa story. Okay? So, makikita mo kung paano ngayon nagre-reason out yung mga bata. Okay? Another tool, okay, is, medyo bilis-bilisan ko na kasi 5:13 na po, for teacher productivity, no? For teacher productivity, the Web2 tools can be used to assist you in classroom organization and management. So these sites that offer teacher productivity tools have resources or provides you with resources that can help you manage your classroom. Okay? Or tools that you can use in your classroom. One example is the assessment resources available at Intel Education site, and it's about assessing projects. Are you familiar with this one? Are you familiar with assessing projects? Hello po. Naririnig niyo pa po ba ako? Okay, are you familiar with assessing projects? Okay. Okay, so I think I don't need to discuss about this one already. Or briefly, I will just tell you about what assessing projects is, or I'll show it to you, no? So, ito yon. You can actually adapt, no? A rubric here. Parang database ito ng mga assessment tools. Okay? You can have an assessment, if you're looking for an assessment tool that will help you assess, no, the thinking skills of your students, then you can go to this site, and then you can edit also the assessment tool so that it will be customized. No, it will be more appropriate to your need. Okay? So ito po yung assessing project site. I'm also giving you a link to this one. I'll be posting the links at kasama tomorrow. Okay, another teacher productivity tool is the visual ranking tool. And by the way, nag-overlap the visual ranking, the showing evidence tool, and the seeing reason tool. These are all teacher productivity tools also, because it helps because they help the teacher manage the classroom, and they help also the teacher do an activity with the students, no, in the classroom. Yeah, I will give you the links, no, to all these resources tomorrow po. Are you all members of the Kasama? Okay, if you're all members of the Kasama, then please check out the document that I'll be sharing with you. I will also share with you another document. It's a complete list of collaborative tools. You can check that out tomorrow. Okay. So for now, There are actually a lot of other tools online, no? I have just shown you some of those that are free and easy to use. I know you're already familiar with the other tools, but for now, that will be all for now, because next meeting, next Tuesday, I will share with you some examples of learning and teaching tasks that make use of online tools. So ngayon po, I have just exposed you to the different tools available online that are for free for students and even for you. So next Tuesday, I'll be discussing some examples, or I'll be showing you a few examples of tasks in the classroom that make use of online tools. And also we will discuss how these online tools influence teaching and learning and the challenges when you use online tools in your class. Okay, so I hope to see you next Tuesday. Do you have questions? Do you have questions po? So may nakuha naman po kayo from from the presentation today? Okay, so I hope that you will be using those tools that I've mentioned, ano? I know you're very eager to get the links to those tools, so I'll be compiling them in one document, and I'll share the links, no, to you tomorrow via Kasama site. Okay? So, may tanong about Edmodo. Edmodo? Si Sir, sino ba yon? Si Sir Erwin ba yon? Edmodo. I think Edmodo is more than just a blogging, ano sir, hindi siya yung blog site lang po. No, I'm not so familiar with Edmodo, but you can also make use of Edmodo for your class, no? If you want to collaborate, your students to collaborate and work on their assignments, and you can explore the other features of Edmodo. It's okay, so are you familiar with Edmodo, sir? You may want to write down what is it all about. Ang Tweeducate is more of blogging lang po talaga siya, sir. Blog site lang po talaga ang Tweeducate. Nga lang, ang Tweeducate is, kumbaga, private siya. Mas mapa-privatize mo yung inyong blog site. Hindi siya open to everybody. Okay, if you want Edmodo, you can access Edmodo at this site, ano? I'm not sure if Edmodo is for free. So I'm not so familiar with Edmodo, edmodo.com. So you may want to access Edmodo at this site. Okay, it's free. But I think it's more than just a blog, ano. Siguro po mas maraming tools ang Edmodo. Ayan, it's free po pala. Pinuntahan ko yung ano. Yeah, it's a free app in iPad, pero free din po yata siya kahit PC, ano? Are there other questions? So, I hope you have learned something today, and you have something to bring back to your classrooms, and you have something to explore, no? Parang kumbaga magkakaroon kayo ng dagdag sa inyong bucket list na, ito, pupuntahan ko yung teaching thinking tools, or pupuntahan ko yung Tweeducate, or pupuntahan ko yung, ano pa ba yung mga shinare, yung Digo, kasi nagre-research ako ngayon, or you're doing your thesis, so you want the citation, source citation site ng BibMe, no? So I hope you will start using those. I promise you tomorrow I will be posting. All of you are members of Kasama, right? Tama po ba? Members po kayo ng Kasama? Okay. Please check at Kasama tomorrow afternoon na lang po and check out my post there tungkol po dito sa mga links to sites that has these tools. Okay? By the way, before you leave, may I request you to fill out this feedback form online, because we really need your feedback so we know kung okay ba yung ating sharing, kung may nakukuha ba kayo sa sharing. And you may also want to share what you know about online tools. You're very welcome. You just have to email us, or you just have to tell Celia, the admin of Kasama site, that you want to do a webinar on a particular, for example, you've been using Edmodo, or you've been using a particular online tool for your class, and you want to share it here through a webinar. What your students did, pwede pong ganun. Aside from sharing it in a discussion at Kasama, you may want to share it to others kung paano nyo ginamit yung isang particular tool. Okay? So please provide us your feedback by clicking on this link, and then give us your honest feedback about the session that we just had. Okay? Thank you very much for virtually coming and for virtually joining us today. And we hope to see you on Tuesday, that's June 17, same time po, 4 to 5:30 p.m. for our second part of the webinar on using online tools in science and mathematics classrooms. Remember, next meeting po, that will be the last meeting, we will be showing you some examples of teaching and learning tasks on how to use online, that make use of online tools. And we will also talk about how these online tools influence the teaching and learning process, and also the challenges that these online tools offer. Okay? Thank you po, and have a good day. Wala na pong ibang tanong? By the way po, just a quick interested po ba kayong sumali sa isang online course? Kung meron po. Pero para po itong short course, posible, parang ang binabalak po kasi while we still have time, ang course po na to, we might charge something, a minimal fee for running the course. Yeah, it's an online course because we will also be issuing a certificate, of participation. Hindi pa po namin alam, pero very minimal lang po ang fee. Kasi online naman po siya, so hindi po tayo mag-face to face. Everything will be submitted online. The discussion will be online. The sharing will be online. So we're planning to come up with an online course. So just check Kasama from time to time. Less than po siguro, mga less than 5,000 po siguro yung course. It will be a short course, but we will issue a certificate of participation. I don't exactly know how much yet, but we plan to run. Anyway, we will be posting something about that at Kasama. Okay, I hope that you can join us in that course. Pwede pong about collaborative tools, or pwede pong about ano pa ba yung tungkol doon? About inquiry in the science classroom. Okay, anyway, from time to time din po, we will be giving you webinars like this one that are for free. So please always check your Kasama site for webinars that are free. By the way, next next Friday, this Friday po, meron po tayong, if you have checked the Kasama site, nakita niyo po ba sa Kasama site? Meron po next Friday, webinar. Who among you here are science, elementary teachers, grades 1 and 2 teachers? Sino-sino po? Sino-sino po ang mga teachers dito ng elementary? Meron pong free webinar on Friday, June 13. That's same time from 4 to 5:30 also. It's about integrating science in other learning areas in grades 1 and 2 under the K-12 curriculum. Okay, interested po ba? Yung isa din pong gagawin na posibleng online course ay yung tungkol sa thinking critically with data. Okay, so for other webinars, please check out the webinars and events page of Kasama Teachers site. Announcement lang po this Friday, June 13, at 4 to 5:30, from 4 to 5:30 p.m., there will be a free webinar on integrating science in other learning areas in grades 1 and 2 under the K-12 curriculum. So please tell your other teachers that are handling grades 1 and 2 to join us this Friday. And there will also be, aside from the Tuesdays, the part 2 session of the second session of this webinar on Tuesday, June 17, meron din po kami sa June 20. It's about designing science classroom investigations in grades 3 to 6. That's also a free webinar. So I hope that you will also attend that session. Okay? And please, paki-inform po yung ibang teachers in your school or even your friends from other schools. Okay? Thank you so much po for your participation. I hope someday kayo naman po ang mag-share ng inyong mga experiences in using online tools. Okay? Thank you po. See you next Tuesday.